1:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Romesh Piris and read by Geethanjali Ramanayaka. The headlines. The President outlines an ambitious vision for Sri Lanka's economy. The UN Rights Chief urges the international community to keep supporting Sri Lanka in its recovery. The Archbishop of Colombo urges the President and the government to launch an independent international investigation into the alleged plot behind the 2019 Easter Sunday bombings. The Minister of Power and Energy emphasizes that the maximum profit margin allowed for any fuel supplier, as in the fuel price formula adopted. Day 2 of the no confidence motion against the Health Minister continues in Parliament today. Sri Lanka gears up for API Asia Conference 2023 to fuel digital transformation and innovation. International news, US to arm Kiev with depleted uranium tank shells. In sports, historic moment for Sri Lanka with T20 series triumph over England. News in detail. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has outlined an ambitious vision for Sri Lanka's economy during his address at the centenary celebration of AI Mubarak Central College in Malvana. President Wickremesinghe emphasized the replication of the Biyagama Free Trade Zone's success as a blueprint for modern commercial industrialization to be implemented nationwide. This strategy aims to propel the country towards rapid development within the next 15 to 20 years. The head of state noted the significant progress made in the Biyagama region since the establishment of the trade zone and highlighted the nation's potential to become a thriving investment hub. He also unveiled plans to open up several new investment opportunities on a global scale, paving the way for Sri Lanka to emerge as a prominent investment destination. The President's remarks were delivered during the centenary celebration ceremony, where he also revealed that several areas, including Bingiriya, Hambantota, Kandy, Trincomalee and the Northern Province, have been earmarked for the establishment of industrial estates. These are set to undergo rapid development, transforming into vibrant commercial cities. United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights has urged the international community to keep supporting Sri Lanka in its recovery in line with obligations around international cooperation and assistance while pressing for genuine progress in government's transparency and accountability. According to the annual report of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, which is scheduled to be presented at the 54th Session Human Rights Council, High Commissioner has identified challenge and opportunities to address the effects of the deep economic crisis of 2022 and long-term political and social issues. The report says the crisis continues to have a severe impact on the rights of many Sri Lankans, with sharply increasing poverty levels. Minister of Power and Energy Kanchana Wijayasekara emphasizes that the maximum profit margin allowed for any fuel supply is 4% per litre, as in the fuel price formula adopted. Taking into social media platform X, the Energy Minister stated that he has tabled the fuel cost breakdown of the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation, Lanka Indian Oil Company and Sinopec after the price revision was implemented on the 1st of September. Furthermore, he expressed hopes that would clear the misleading and false statements made by various individuals on unreasonable profits gained by other suppliers and the CPC, adding that the maximum profit margin allowed for any fuel supply is 4% per litre as per the fuel price formula adopted. In addition, the minister asserted that the maximum retail price for fuel has been set by the Ministry of Power and Energy every month, and any supplier can sell the products below the maximum price. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Day 2 of the debate on the no-confidence motion tabled against the Minister of Health, Keheliya Rabukwala, is scheduled to get underway in Parliament this morning. Parliament is scheduled to convene at 9:30 a.m. and the debate will take place from 9:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. The no-confidence motion against Health Minister Keheliya Rabukwala was tabled by parliamentarian Kavinda Jayawardena yesterday. Comments in the debate, MP Jayawardena said the Health Minister has failed in his duties to ensure the smooth functioning of the hospital network in the country, addressing the drug shortage, dealing with the influx of substandard medicine into the country. Meanwhile, State Minister Sita Anabepola said the allegations of drug shortage shortage, lack of doctors and several other allegations put forth by the opposition cannot be directed merely at the current health minister. Moreover, the parliament is slated to vote on the second reading of Inland Revenue Amendment Bill and Social Security Contribution Levy Amendment Bill this evening. The vote on second reading of the two bills, which was taken up for debate in Parliament yesterday, will accordingly be held at 7 p.m. today. The Federation of Information Technology Sri Lanka is set to host the eagerly awaited API Asia Conference 2023 for the second time, with this year's event scheduled to take place on the 16th of November at the Shangri-La Hotel in Colombo. The event was officially launched today at the President's Media Centre under the patronage of State Minister of Technology Kanaka Herath, accompanied by several distinguished government and industry officials. While addressing the launch ceremony, State Minister of Technology Kanaka Herath emphasized the vital role that this year's conference would play in advancing Sri Lanka's digital economy. The conference will focus on three critical pillars: artificial intelligence, smart cities and financial technology, which are essential components of the digital ecosystem. One of the central initiatives highlighted by the State Minister is the DigiEcon Sri Lanka 2030 program, launched under the leadership of President Ranil Wickremesinghe. And that ends local news for now.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjit has urged President Ranil Wickremesinghe and the government to launch a free, impartial, just, transparent and broad investigation into the alleged plot behind the 2019 Easter Sunday bombings in Sri Lanka, unveiled in British television network Channel 4's controversial documentary. In a press release, the Archbishop of Colombo said this probe should be conducted through an independent international investigation team assisted by all criminal investigation department officials who were removed from investigations into the terror attacks and transferred on political influence. Since these fresh investigations need to be independent, Cardinal Ranjit said all those officials in the police and intelligence services coming under investigation and those in top posts at present should be suspended forthwith to ensure the independence and transparency of the inquiry. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
In Watchlight this afternoon, the Department of Examination says the acceptance of recorrection of applications for the 2022 Advanced Level Examination commenced today. The department said recorrection applications can be submitted online via www.doenets.lk until the 16th of September. That's www.donets.lk. Results of the A-level exam were released on the 4th of September. 263,930 students sat for the examination. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Education said 166,938 students who sat for the 2022 Advanced Level Examination have met the requirement for admission to state universities. And that came to you in Watchlight.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
It's the power to live life your way. The power to be a trendsetter. Power to you with digital banking from Commercial Bank. Commercial Bank. Our interest is in you.
World News headlines. U.S. to arm Kyiv with depleted uranium tank shells. California's legislature has become the first in the U.S. to approve a bill banning caste discrimination. And Japan joins moon race with successful rocket launch. The U.S. has announced it will supply depleted uranium tank shells to Ukraine as part of more than $1 billion in military and humanitarian aid. Russia condemned the move to equip U.S. Abrams tanks with the controversial armor-piercing munitions. The announcement came as Ukraine accused Russia of killing 17 people in a missile attack on a market street. Overnight, suspected Ukrainian drone attacks were reported on the Russian city of Rostov and near Moscow. California's legislature has become the first in the U.S. to approve a bill banning caste discrimination. Legislators said the measure would protect people of South Asian descent who allege unfair treatment. The governor must now decide whether to sign the bill into law. Seattle became the first U.S. city to ban caste discrimination in February. The caste system in India dates back over 3,000 years and divides Hindu society into rigid hierarchical groups. The measure, which passes on Tuesday by 31-5, was sponsored by Democratic State Senator Aisha Wahab, who said would add caste as a protected category in the state anti-discrimination laws alongside gender, race, religion and disability. Japan on Thursday successfully launched rocket with a lunar lander at its fourth try this year after previous attempts were foiled by bad weather. The lander, dubbed the Moon Sniper, is expected to attempt a moon landing in February if all goes well. Japan has twice failed to reach the lunar surface in the past year amid setbacks for its space program. It is bidding to become only the fifth country to land on the moon after the US, Russia, China and India. 2 weeks ago, India made history when it successfully landed a spacecraft near the south pole of the moon. The Japanese spacecraft is projected to land within 100 meters of a location near the Siholi crater on the near side of the moon. Back to the headlines of the world news. US to arm Kyiv with depleted uranium tank shells. California's legislature has become the first in the U.S. to approve a bill banning caste discrimination. And Japan joins moon race with successful rocket launch. That ends World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
This message is for all the kids between the ages of 4 and 16 who love to draw. Commercial Bank's Arunalu Sittam is back once again. This time, the competition is also open to Sri Lankan kids currently living abroad. First, second and third place prizes will be awarded along with special merit and merit certificates. For more information, visit the Commercial Bank website. We have so many prizes to be won.
Development News is brought to you by
Job opportunities for well-experienced housemaids and home cooks in Saudi Arabia and Kuwait for ages 40 to 58 years. Salary 125,000 rupees. Contact 037-7500-500.
On Development News, Windforce PLC achieved a significant milestone by officially signing the power purchase agreement for the development of the 10-megawatt Kabitigo solar power project. This momentous event marked the commencement of the project and was attended by key stakeholders. Windforce PLC's acquisition of 92% stake in Kabitigo Solar Power Private Limited represents a major leap forward in Sri Lanka's solar energy landscape. The total investment for the groundbreaking project is estimated at around 2.7 billion Sri Lankan rupees, with a projected equity internal rate of return exceeding 15%. Project development is already underway, with completion is expected by July 2024. And that was Development News.
Job opportunities for women from Deshakti Lanka in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait and Oman. Housemaids and home cooks in Saudi Arabia, ages 40 to 58 years. Arabic speaking and well experienced home cooks. Salary 125,000 rupees. Interviews are now on with foreign agents. You can travel overseas free of charge now. Branches Colombo, Kurunegala, Anuradhapura and Matara. Contact number 037-500-500. Deshakti Lanka Foreign Employment Agency.
In sports news, inspirational captain Chamari Adapattu led the way yet again as Sri Lanka's women's team created history on Wednesday by recording their first ever series triumph over England in any format. The historic 2-1 series triumph came courtesy of a dominant 7-wicket victory over Heather Knight's side in third T20I in Derby, and was no surprise to see Adapattu dominate proceedings. Adapattu picked up 3 valuable wickets to help skittle England for just 116 and then contributed an excellent 44 from just 28 deliveries to ensure Sri Lanka chased down the winning target with 3 overs to spare. The two teams will now commence a 3-game ODI series, with the first match commencing at Chestella Street on Saturday. And that was sports news.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගීන හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all new NSB Ithru Mithru account. NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Sri Lanka Insurance, the largest and strongest insurer in the country, introduces SLIC Jeevana Shakti, a special life and health insurance cover for estate and plantation workers of Sri Lanka. This special car was developed in collaboration with the Plantation Human Development Trust and the Ministry of Water Supply and Estates Infrastructure Development. SLIC Jeevana Shakti is a life car offered exclusively to the estate employees and plantation workers of the tea industry as a special insurance solution. It is offered as a family car and is open for the employees between 18 to 70 years of age, and it includes critical illness benefits, hospital, cash benefits, life covers. The policy covers the policyholder's spouse and children as well. And that was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak tiyana youth ekata life ekේ change ekata niyameta set wenna as wahagena dakapu hina habe karanna youth ekata niyameta set wenna friendship ekaka menna.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
In economic news, all financial transactions by state institutions will be made digitally by March 31st next year, and the necessary legal processes are to be implemented the new policy under Digi-Econ 2030 concept, a top official said. Since COVID-19 pandemic, an increasing number of Sri Lankans have switched to digital transactions. President Ranil Wickremesinghe's government has started the National Digital Economy Acceleration Initiative to fast-track the digitalization of the economy. According to the latest government data, only 5% of Sri Lankans economy is using the digital facility. And that was economic news.
Weather report.
The Department of Meteorology predicts showers or thundershowers at times in the western, Sabaragama and northwestern provinces and in the Kandy, Nuwara Eliya, Galle and Mathura districts. The Met Department said fairly heavy showers above 50 millimeters are likely at some places in the western and Sabaragama province and in the Putnam, Galle and Mathura districts. A few showers may occur in the Mana and Hambantota district and in the north central province as well. It added fairly strong winds of about 40 to 45 kilometers per hour can be expected at times in the western slopes of the Central Hills, northern, north central and northwestern provinces and in the Trincomalee and Hambantota districts. Meanwhile, due to southward relative motion, the sun will be directly over the latitudes of Sri Lanka today. The Met Department said the sun is likely to be directly overhead of Hikkaduwa, Deyandra and Walasmulla at around noon today. And that was the report. Prior to concluding this news broadcast, the headlines once again. The President outlines an ambitious vision for Sri Lanka's economy. The UN Rights Chief urges the international community to keep supporting Sri Lanka in its recovery. The Archbishop of Colombo urges the President and the government to launch an independent internal investigation into the alleged plot behind the 2019 Easter Sunday bombings. The Minister of Power and Energy emphasizes that the maximum profit margin allowed for any fuel supplier as in the fuel price formula adopted. Day 2 of the no confidence motion against Health Minister continues in Parliament today. Sri Lanka gears up for API Asia Conference 2023 to fuel digital transformation and innovation. International news, US to arm Kiev with depleted uranium tank shells. Sports, historic moment for Sri Lanka with T20 series triumph over England. And with that, we end this news broadcast from Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.